Really?
Yeah, I think they might be live, so careful what you say.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just looking at
Hey!
Hey!
The hell?
How are you? What's up, what's up, what's up? Good to see you all. Some familiar names here, some new ones too. Welcome along to anybody new. Our live show. We've got some Axie scholarships today for you and lots of amazing chat, haven't we, guys? Have you got amazing chat today?
Full of amazing chat.
Full of amazing chat.
When do we not have amazing chat? Let's be more precise.
Always. So obviously our Axie community is here in full force. We'll give the stragglers a bit of time to arrive. Please share the link around with your friends. I see some of the people in here already have scholarships, and it's fantastic to see you still coming along to listen to us on Fridays. Okay, so as we do, we're going to have a general chat on what's happening in the overall blockchain space, try and make sense of some of it. I've got a few questions specifically for you today, Stefano, being our Ethereum expert. So maybe we can start there. We'll get to the scholarships very shortly, people. Now, if you haven't applied and you are new here, if you've clicked on a random link, you don't know what this is all about.
I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, apologies. Actually, no, I don't. This will be the best hour of your life ever. Discord link above. Get in there, register if you want to be in the mix for that. All the rules are in the show notes. I have a read of those too. Nothing to do with YouTube. Something we run privately, free to enter. Go for gold. Okay, guys, let's talk a few market dynamics, and then we'll get into some Axie chat. Okay.
Hello, everybody.
The wrong tab. Yeah, can you talk to the audience while I figure out my tabs? We have a very smart
lady in here named Sonia who says, "Hello, three handsome men and hard working."
Oh yeah,
she definitely has some good taste.
Yes, I agree.
Hey.
Yeah.
When's hello, welcome, because that was like direct to me. So
yeah, actually, you probably get more handsome comments than Mr. Gonzo and I, Stefano. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, to be honest. But,
I have to shave to get those comments.
Everyone's got.
See, that's the thing. Like facial hair are not a sign of beautiness. They're just a sign of like manliness and bears and warriors.
Lack of wanting to shave. So much maintenance.
We'll come back to shaving in a moment, guys. But what I've brought up here, because I really need to try and sort of make rhyme or reason of this. This is basically the biggest moves over the last 7 days. I've highlighted that here. So the biggest movers over the last 7 days. I have no idea.
Can I talk about this one, please, Mister?
Tellcoin?
Yeah, boy.
Sure. I have no idea what it is. What is it?
In August, in my chat, I made a call. I said,
here we go.
1 million tel for 1 ether. I was like, that's a deal. I'm buying some and I'm just going to sit on it. I sold 10 ETH yesterday for it. So that's a pretty good trade.
Oh, well done. Well done. So what does it do?
That was one of my last DeFi summer buys. You know, everything was still pumping. I'm like, man, Tellcoin, it's got an established product. It's going to do the same sooner or later. And just because it's all about remittance, you know, like peer-to-peer, what's happening in, you know, one of their markets is the Philippines. Another one is Canada. And it's just like a mobile wallet where you can send payments across borders. And it's lots of regulation. And it's taken them a really long time to get going. But this is like, I would say this might be a bit more of an adoption pump than just a standard like bear market market thing, you know, because, you know, they were building and restructuring. So, you know, now you can send payments in Canada, in the Philippines, I think right now, but they're just like rolling out all this new stuff, new news. So,
all right.
this is a good trade. I'm stoked with that one.
So after we've had a look at this, there's an interesting tweet going around about going full-time in crypto. And given that the three of us are full-time in crypto, we're going to have a work through that tweet in a moment. But let's have a look at a couple of these. And kind of one of the main reasons for doing this is Ethereum Classic, 300% in the last week. I believe it's 1,200% this year. Now, Stefano, as our Ethereum expert, what's going on here, man?
It's 2017 OGs pumping their bags. All of them.
I mean, Ethereum Classic, Q2, EOS, they're all like from 2017 summer, by the way. Jokes aside, well, it's not a joke, actually. It's pretty accurate, to be honest.
It's what's happening.
Ethereum Classic is, well, the name says that, is actually like the original version of Ethereum. People that bought into the ICO of Ethereum were actually buying Ethereum Classic at the beginning. Now, I don't know how many people are being around or how many people knows the story, what happened, why the fork happened, and so on. But back in the days, there was this proposal that then brought to the creation of the DAO. Now, obviously, DAO are a very common thing nowadays, decentralized autonomous organization. But back at that time, the DAO was an experiment. And it was basically like this community where people were like sending money in this smart contract. People were sending proposal to like develop a project that was running on Ethereum. And the DAO was basically voting, so in a very like distributed and democratic way, and deciding if the allocations of the funds were being given or not. As you can imagine, shit hits the fan, I would say. And so
contentious hard fork.
And basically what happened.
Yeah, I mean, would you call it? I guess it is a contentious hard fork. What was it? 50 million in the tokens that were sold?
No, it was more. It was more. So what happened, like in the act, is like they basically drained everything. Tons of people lost a lot of money. I think it was like, I don't remember if it was 75 or 175. Like it was an insane amount of money. Remember this, we're talking at the time where ETH was worth less than $10.
Right.
You know, now we're talking about like, 50 million, rag pool, not a big deal. We're talking about like a history in a moment in the crypto space where like market caps were completely different on this. So a lot of people lost all their money. And, you know, that's when the debate started coming in place. And so the people on the Ethereum Classic side were like, you know, it's immutable. It's a blockchain, but it's immutable, which means that we're sorry, but, you know, money are gone. That's it. On the other side, Vitalik and like, you know, many other people that lost their money were like, how about we fork the chain for the block before the hack happened? And so we're basically like re-giving the funds to everybody. So no hack basically happened at that point.
What were your thoughts on that? Were you in favor of that?
Well, see, that's when like it comes out how everybody's an hypocritic at the end of the day, because like we all come up on like decentralization is super important, immutable is the most important thing in the world.
I'm asking you that question, brother.
I was on the side that wanted to fork.
Okay. So,
because the money is the money at the end of the day.
I mean, look, you raised the point. It was $10. It was early in the project. I get that. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that the Bitcoin chain was also rolled back. It wasn't a hack, but there was an issue. Yeah, something that. So you know, the gravity of that of what we're talking about here is actually kind of huge because we're talking about decentralization. So, you know, when you can go in and roll back a chain or so forth, that's a very centralized scenario there.
Well, it is, but one thing on that, it wasn't like because that entire system then brought the creation of a protocol like EOS, where in EOS you can revolve things whenever you want if there is like a voting mechanism. Now, it's true that, you know, there is that part where you want things to be immutable, But on the other side, that vote was done in a way that the entire community was taking into consideration. It wasn't like, you know, a board of like few individuals. I'm thinking, for example, of like one person and 21 of his friends sitting on the same table, perhaps maybe calling nodes, just like throwing random things, you know.
That doesn't sound familiar at all. I don't know.
No, I know, right?
That sounds preposterous. Who would try and spell that?
But I guess that, like, if anybody ever done a structure like that, but you know, it wasn't this the case. It was actually like, you know, everybody in the community was asked a question on what they wanted to do, and so it was, to be honest, it was actually a good case of decentralization. It's a good use case of decentralization. It's a terrible use case of immutability, because we were just like, nope. Oh, and plus also on literally painting a clown face on our face on that situation, by forking we received double of the tokens, because that also would happen.
Okay, and I'm imagining you kept yours. Did you?
I kept a good part of that. Yes, I liked Ethereum Classic in reality.
Drinks on Stefano.
Huh?
Drinks on Stefano.
Well, we might have to do an Ethereum Classic giveaway on our show next week, maybe. That's very nice of me to give away Stefano's value there.
Like, hey.
Okay, so why is the price pumping, in your opinion?
Well, there are some things of Ethereum Classic that are overall nice. I'm not gonna lie on this. Like, very few people have kept like keeping a look into Ethereum Classic, but
exactly, I couldn't tell you what the hell is going on there at all. So I'm hoping you can.
If we want to like look at the tech a little bit and like what is happening there, number one, Ethereum Classic has a limited supply, so it's not infinitive as Ethereum. And then there are like specific proposals that are being actually pushed now on, like, for example, the idea of having a treasury. So once again, trying to like reestablish the model where, like, you know, we can move forward on like distribution, staking, and so on and so on. So there is an evolution that is happening over there. Now, why is this happening? Well, because Ethereum is doing that. Like, you know, if we're considering like the DAO moment is one story, but if we're looking at what happened like 3, 4, 5 years after, it's clear which chain won the competition at that point. Like, you know, we can see like the tweet of Ethereum Classic now being like, oh, we're outperforming the Ethereum in terms of return. Yeah, cool story, but there is not a lot of usage over there. But hey, no, they are mining, doing
about mining. Can they use the hardware to mine both? Is that possible?
You can use the same hardware because like it's the same algorithm, so you could do that. You're obviously not mining both at the same time. You need to pick that. Right. But yeah, you can do that on CPU. On GPU mining with no issues whatsoever.
Right.
And that's kind of like the crazy part on that, because, you know, why is it in reality pumping, in my opinion? Because Qtum is pumping, because Dogecoin is pumping, because EOS is pumping. Like, there is a tons of story around. So here's what happened. Let's combine the pieces for a second. Beginning of the year, the argument is Ethereum is shit. The gas price is too high. We need a solution. Ethereum is that. Ethereum is that. Ethereum is that. Comes along Binance Smart Chain, and then Solana, layer 2s, and blah blah, and all of that stuff. Somehow, nobody predicted that Ethereum cannot care less about what people are saying on the crypto Twitter. And not only if Ethereum survive, deliver huge updates, and boom, the alpha of Ethereum becomes one of the top in the space right now. So in the same way that we've seen the pumps on like animal coins after that the Doge pump has happened, and every single one of the animal coins has pumped like crazy. In the same way that we've seen that on privacy coin, and then every single other privacy coin has jumped like crazy. Now we're seeing like that one of the best alpha in the market is from Ethereum, and then all of a sudden you got another token called Ethereum Classic. Like, plus you got all the old bags holder that are kind of like okay with the price doing 1,000 return in a month, because like, why not? Like, you know. So I think that is like a lot of manipulation, to be honest.
It's all fundamentals, I think. It's got nothing.
It's all fundamentals.
All fundamentals.
All fundamentals. Clearly, all fundamentals.
So what is actually happening on that protocol?
Same thing that is happening on EOS. The same thing that is happening on Tron.
Nothing's happening on EOS.
Yeah, exactly. You have your answer. What is happening? It's happening something like they're voting. They're trying to improve the model. They're trying to like make it like more appealing for developers to go there. At the end of the story, yeah, we the data are the data. Nobody's using Ethereum Classic.
Okay, so
it's a cool chain, by the way. Jokes aside, but
well, I mean, I guess you, as you say, it's effectively the original chain, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's not a bad one. We actually consider using that for Corporazzo for a period, but then like the problem is that like that was back in the days when like so for MetaMask, for example, Ethereum Classic is an RPC. Like you can jump into the Ethereum Classic ecosystem in the same way that you would do by jumping into Polygon or Binance Smart Chain. Like it's the same exactly UX. So it's fairly easy to jump into that environment and having a look at what it's happening. It's not bad at all.
Speaking of UX, have either of you guys migrated any liquidity that you've provided to pools from Uniswap version 2 to 3 as yet? Have you been through that process? You haven't.
I didn't do that yet because I still have like a lot. I migrate a lot.
Could we potentially do that on this show without doxing yourself? Because I guess I could do it, but I prefer to. There's a couple of things there on the UI that I find a bit confusing, to be honest.
I might still have like something on the competition wallet, but I don't think so.
Well, maybe if you could have a look in there. I went to migrate today, and I was a little bit confused whether we'll bring it up shortly, but with regards to putting in the price of what you're willing. I just got confused. I had to look at it just before we jumped on air. I didn't think it was that top notch especially for anyone new. It was a bit confusing. But anyway, guys, while we're sort of on the subject, just a quick sort of look at what has happened over the last month. So as you can see here, Bitcoin in April actually lost value. The altcoins up close to 50%. The biggest movers in April were the centralized exchange coins. So Binance, KuCoin, etc. Interesting. We've actually got Gary Gensler turning around today and saying that he will be looking at regulation of exchanges in the US, that is. So that's certainly coming. Now, the topic that I did bring up in the past was, it clearly to me looks like there's a hell of a lot of whales just cycling in and out of projects at the moment. Now I know you're not a trader, Stefano. You're one of the lucky ones that was smart enough to get in on the Ethereum ICO. So it's a pleasure making content with you. I like your take on things. The majority of the audience. Or the majority of people are all about, okay, where do I invest next? So not that we really want to get too bogged down in that today. We're here to give away some Axie scholarships, but just staying on that topic just for a second. For me, man, if you're not an experienced trader and if you're not really on the pulse here pretty much on the daily, this is where I think you can get your pants pulled down and look like a fool. It is clearly, to me, a case of you can literally see capital moving, especially into these sort of top tier alts at the moment. And it's moving out in a matter of days in some scenarios. You're seeing these massive pumps and then bang, onto the next one, rinse and repeat. So, Mr. Gonzo, any thoughts?
Alphabetical order, Sean. You can see it.
Sorry?
Sometimes it just goes in alphabetical order.
I do think so.
It does. Like, sometimes on Binance, you'll look at the top coins on a day when all the other majors are down, and it's just like literally like GRT, GRS, GXY, GXZ, and it's like, wow, surprisingly, there's 3 or 4 coins all starting, So there's just a bag list that they go through and cycle. Like, all right, pump this one up, get everybody FOMO'd in while everything else is bleeding. Bleed it out while everything else pumps.
Yeah, so I guess my comments on that, people, are, look, just be careful if you are juggling lots of different altcoin positions and playing that game. Stefano said it till he's blue in the face here. Having the underlying asset, which is Ethereum, and in the bulk of the cases here, you might not get the adrenaline that you're getting from 100% gain in a coin in a day or two, but look, ultimately, if all those projects do succeed, it just means Ethereum long term is going to perform. Trying to pick these things, and I've been looking at a bunch of different shows today, and it's quite shocking how a lot of the influencers are really ramping up their rhetoric on various projects. I don't think they have a clue what they're on about. It's just hype. And we'll get to that in a moment with this tweet. But listen, what I do find interesting is while I'm talking about sort of project-to-project pumps here, we have seen a massive cycle out of the NFT space in April with DeFi as flavor of the month at the moment. Looking at these numbers, what do you two consider having the biggest upside's what's the word I'm looking for? Not upside, but what do you think is going to dominate the blockchain world over the coming years? Is it the NFT space or is it DeFi for you guys?
It's going to be all of them, but they're going to take turns pumping until it becomes mainstream. All of them become mainstream, I think.
Where do you think the greatest innovation is, Stefano?
Ethereum.
Which sector?
As long as it runs on Ethereum, that's cool. The blockchain sector on Ethereum.
Well, DeFi is primarily Ethereum.
No, look,
that's actually a good question. Is the NFT space much more sort of fragmented, segmented on multiple blockchains compared to DeFi, which is primarily Ethereum?
It's divided. If you're considering like the value, like the dollar side, like where do you have like something that is valuable? It's on Ethereum. OpenSea is on Ethereum. You don't trade things that are worth millions of dollars on Binance Smart Chain. Like it doesn't work like that.
It's almost like the Beeple thing was a top call for NFTs. Definitely.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like everything that like it's worth. Let's put it like that. Imagine that you have like a bag of money. Now I know that nobody likes cash and so on, but imagine that you have like a bag of money. Would you go to, I don't know, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, HSBC, and so on? Or would you go to your neighbor, Joe, to store that bag of money?
If Joe's got Bitcoin, I'm going to see Joe.
I mean, of course, we all love Joe. But the point is that, like, you want to go to the things that kind of, like, secure your money at the end of the day. So dollar-wise, the NFT space is on Ethereum. Like you want to launch a new thing, chances are that it's on Ethereum. But if you're actually looking at a different approach, so things like gaming, things that like are creating to have like very low value dollars for the NFT. Like, you might play a game where like a card is worth 5 cents. Doesn't mean that because like it's an NFT by definition needs to be worth 50 millions. Like you might have a deck of cards and some are worth like few cents here and there. It's totally possible. Now in that case, there is a lot of action that is happening on WEX. That's like tons of projects and games are actually launching over there. The Hive blockchain is pushing a lot on NFTs as well, on games and etc. Splinterland was actually on Steam first and then on Hive. Phantasma is the other one. And I believe like there is also obviously Binance Smart Chain for some other stuff. But like the side chain, the layer 2s are very important for NFTs that are not worth a tons of money. And they're needed. Like
right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, like that's what the whole Bitcoin split was about, right? So that they could be cash for everybody. For it to be cash for everybody, you need to have microtransactions, right? Because the inequality in all the economies in the world. So, NFTs are the same thing because they're a digital asset that has value. So if you want to transact small values, you're going to need a blockchain that allows to do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, eventually Ethereum will get there, but in the midterm,
it's going to happen.
Midterm, we got to figure that out. Like, How I want to see NFTs on Lightning.
There are.
There are? Nice.
So the game Light Night,
Oh,
which
nice.
is an FPS. Well, it's not an FPS. It's a
How
third-person
difficult is it to
shooter.
start up?
Huh?
How difficult is it to start playing?
It's pretty straightforward. You buy the game on Steam. It costs $19, 19, and you play every 3 hours. You got like 100 Satoshi per session that you're doing, plus 1, 2, or 3 NFTs. Soon they're gonna like implement the battle royale, and that's when things are gonna be cool. But the NFTs that you win, they already have a marketplace, and it's 100% everything on Lightning on the Bitcoin Lightning network. So it's pretty cool.
That sounds neat.
It's a nice game also. It's quite buggy, but it's a nice one.
God, I must have written 50 articles on Lightning back in 2017, and feels like the devs have been twiddling their thumbs there a wee bit. But I think sort of the major innovation or use case of Lightning at this point really looks like facilitating trades between the exchanges, better price discovery, etc. I think for the rest of us, sort of using it to transact as a Bitcoin layer 2 is quite some ways off.
We should get the Lightning game as a review project.
Yep. Speaking of games, Mr. Gonzo, how many scholarships have we got today?
2,000. Gonzo is Oprah of scholarship today. You got a scholarship. You got a scholarship. Yeah. You got
Except a scholarship. For the fact that I can give them out, but they won't become anything for a week or two, because right now, with Lightning or with Ronin layer 2 coming online, I've been planning scaling up the scholarship for like 6 months pretty much since we started. So now there's like a huge influx of all these Axies and all these players. They got to get organized and figure out how the teams go and which teams are for breeding and which ones are for playing, and upgrading the old scholars so they have the best possible teams. So I'm just kind of like, my brain's full and I can't really deal with new scholars yet.
So on that note, Mr.
We can give out vouchers, like we can award them, but they can't play them for a couple of weeks.
Or because I can give them right now.
Oh, you got some left?
Yeah, I can totally do that.
Oh, cool.
So I could do that. You sorted out the raining thing that you were discussing on Discord, and I will. And today is gonna be me, so you're all screwed. So today I decide who gets one scholarship for the best questions.
It better be a good one for
spoiler alert, if it's not about Ethereum, it doesn't count.
Yeah, little pro tip there.
Can we do one giveaway as a scholarship that won't be like a random one in the
sure.
Yeah, just one.
And
that'll I'll in a week or two, I'll put the team together.
Okay. So, I'm confused now.
You still do yours, right? But then we'll do one random.
Okay, we do one. So let me set it up on Discord for that one.
Now, while Stefano is doing that, we had a rather hilarious thing yesterday. I think there's a hell of a lot of job opportunities in the blockchain and crypto space at the moment, people. It's something I'll be sharing a tweet that we're going to walk through in a moment. But we had a humorous little session last night attempting to record these guys talking about some job opportunities that they have. So maybe Mr. Gonzo, you could just briefly share what you're looking for with the audience. Maybe there's somebody watching that could fulfill your needs.
Kind of connected what we just talked about earlier with the scholarship is we need a bit more help in the community. That's like, I need an assistant team manager, so that person would help me get organized for the tournaments, assigning some of the premium teams, keeping track of some of the Axie movements with Stefano's scholarships and my scholarships. The Axies are crossing over, so we need to keep track of that stuff. And then talking with the scholars, right? Keeping them organized and helping answer a lot of the questions that come up over and over again. Because, right now we've got 90 scholars, and a lot of this is on Stefano, and a lot of it's on me. and it's just be easier if we could have a point person. So it'd be like a promotion, I think, from someone inside the community, and we can pay in crypto. There's no fiat pay, but we can pay in SLP, AXS, Axies, or to be negotiated. Okay.
Anybody that's been paid in crypto in the last 10 years is probably very happy. So very soon people are going to be, I'm not, pay me in fiat.
I got a good story about that. So in December, they posted in the Axie channel that they needed they needed animation for something. So I just answered the call and I talked to J-Ho, and he recommended me because I'd showed him my animation work before. And so it was like an animation intro for a scholarship. And they said, we don't have lots of money and stuff. And I said, it's okay. I can do it for cheap if you want, because I like Axie, and, it's kind of this old art mentality. You do stuff you want to work on. So we quoted like $500, right? But I said, but you have to pay in decent crypto, like Ethereum or Bitcoin. He said, no, Ethereum is too expensive. I said, okay, Bitcoin is fine. It's like, okay, cool. So he paid half up front, and it was supposed to be like $250 in December, right? So the job finally paid the rest of it, like a month ago, and the first half was worth like 10x or something like that. And no, because Bitcoin in December was under 10, 11K.
Christmas, well, the 31st of December, it was 30K. Started December.
Oh, no, but like before Christmas, it was under like 10, 12, wasn't it?
It went up a lot. So what currency, what crypto are you going to pay in? Can they have their pick or?
Well, each person's different. Everybody's got their preferences and stuff. So whoever it is, we'll sort it out. It won't. Okay. Yeah. I mean.
Okay, and how should they get in touch with you?
Yeah, just
Discord.
Yeah. Yep. So, we've got Jazzy helping organize the new community and stuff, but I think having another person that could work with us, and me and Stefano and you, Sean, just to help keep everything organized with some of the giveaways that we have, and new marketing ideas. Like we're doing a TikTok campaign for a new scholar, right? And none of us have TikTok, but the community is kind of sorting that one out to promote the channel, which is kind of cool. Good job to Kingsback and Gertrude, Jazzy for that. So good job, everybody in the community. I think it's growing. It's great. Everybody's excited about the new Axies and improving their teams. So it's been an awesome week, and there's lots more coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so get stuck in there, people, if you're interested in that. Stefano is actually looking to hire somebody as well. I don't know if he wants to share that later on the show. Now, stay with us, people. We are going to do the scholarship giveaways very shortly. But if you are thinking of coming to work in crypto, somebody sent me this tweet earlier. I thought it'd be quite fun to whip through what John Thiel has had to say here. So he starts off by saying, I see a lot of people FOMO, quit their jobs to join crypto, probably out of over-romanticized view of what goes on these projects. Let me illuminate you about what actually happens. So let's have a listen. Let's have a read of what John has to say. See if it's been our experience. Number one, you have an earnest team that believes in decentralization as a theory, but realize that is impossible to build any project of complexity without extreme centralization for long periods of time. Potentially some parts indefinitely. Quick comments on that one, Stefano.
That is true. That is true.
Gonzo.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you need a leader, and you have to make decisions, and things have to happen, right? That's the benefit of centralization, right? And without that, if too many decisions by committee, it slows everything down.
True. Okay, so we're all on the same page there. Number two. Yeah. You aim to build a community, but in reality, 90% of your Telegram Discord are scammers. People asking why price is going down. Accusations that you and your entire team should go to jail. Comments, Stefano first.
Well, that is the reason why in Corporatio we do not have a token. So I agree.
Well, 90% of our, actually 100% of our community in Discord are just pretty much all awesome people. I haven't had a bad experience with any of you yet. So
yeah, because they didn't put money in our freaking
token.
They didn't see. We mentioned so many times to buy the BitCloud R14 token. Nobody's doing that because unfortunately we're too good.
Is there actually one? Has anyone looked?
No, I don't think. I have no idea. It's a scam. So like, don't like whatever you find there. Don't put a single.
There is actually going to be a hard forking token, people, but it's not a utility token or a crypto as such. But that is a private conversation that we'll have with you all in the Discord in the coming weeks. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Okay, number 3. You want to decentralize governance, but only a handful wants to participate in the governance. Doesn't change people from getting royally pissed off at governance decisions, despite not doing a single ounce of work.
How many times did I say this about governance tokens? How many times did I say this exactly thing?
Yeah. Well, it gets around the Howey test. Look, it comes back to that Ethereum conversation we were having earlier. I mean, okay, you were laughing that maybe there's 21 people sitting around a table that made that call. Now, do you think we're going to get to a point though where we literally have hundreds of thousands, millions of people using their voting rights with a governance token on projects? I mean, that's the nirvana for us. That's what we're trying to do here. Do you think that's going to happen?
I think that we're starting seeing cases like that where people have a little bit of interest on taking actions like that. Like, for example, on Aavegotchi, I've seen that a lot of the implementation that Aavegotchi has done is basically telling you, like, if you wish to participate, your Aavegotchi get experience. Guess what? The experience of your Aavegotchi is actually part of the season. So you could actually be rewarded with extra ghost token if you're doing that. You know, companies that are like implemented some form of gamification inside the model are getting a lot of traction because of that. Yeah. Aave governance is very popular as well. Why? Because you actually get airdrops normally when you do things like that, because projects are considering participating in the governance of these projects as like a thing that allowed you to be into the airdrop things. So there are mechanics that like people are starting taking into consideration. If, however, we take the simple action of like, I own a token, I have like $1,000 even of a token that is worth like $1 billion. Do I care or even go into a website and say yes or no on something? No.
Not at all. Yeah, true. That is the problem with most of those. Yeah, interesting to see how that develops. Okay, moving on. John says, number 4, you realize that most of the influencer network of crypto is actually a cartel of individuals who all know each other and collude in pumping the same bags. They all cost around 20 to 30K for a review. Damn. Been doing something wrong here, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, we're clearly not part of the cartel over here because we were not aware of all of that stuff.
I've been approached by various cartels before, and I'm not going to go into too many details here because the wrath of the influencer community might come down on me. But yeah, look, I mean, I cynical statements there from John, but you have to be careful who you listen to in this space, people. You know, there's new influencers popping up on the daily now, and there's actually a number that disappeared for 2 years during the bear market that are back in full force. So yeah, careful who you listen to, and if you are, if you're hearing someone talk about a token, you absolutely should ask them, have they been paid to promote that legally? That needs to be declared. But yeah, let's not get too bogged down in that one for fear of pissing people off. Okay. What's the next one here? I haven't actually gone through the second half. Some VCs are good. Many don't do an ounce of due diligence on their project and fight tooth and nail for large token allocations with minimal lockup periods. Most of them are actually beyond useless. Some are deeply unethical, and some are straight up cons.
This is super true.
Still want to work in crypto, people? I hope we're not putting you off here.
This is 100% true. It's there are like, you can even see that the mummies that are coming back from the 2017 ICO waves that now are coming back all of a sudden, disappear for 2 years, and now they're back in full force. So like, IDOs. This is so true. It's
what
insane.
could go wrong? Yeah. Okay, we're probably pissing off a hell of a lot of people doing this, but
I don't care. It's true. Like if this upset you, it means like you're part of the problem.
Yeah. No, very, very good point. Okay, this is one we can all relate to. Crypto never sleeps, and guess what? That also means you never sleep. Half your audience is in the West, the other half in the East. Singapore time is almost entirely during sleeping hours in the US. Have fun with that, John. Yes, I totally agree. Always, we've had many issues with that one, haven't we, boys?
Oh man, I feel like some days I just roll a whole week into each other, like in 3 days.
Yeah.
Like you do your work day, you get up and you do your stuff. Get up early because you're like, what's so much to do, and then like you finish your day, and then the other part of the world starts their day, and then they start talking to you and pulling you into things, and then like by the end, it's like end of the morning. It's like 4 in the morning, and you're like, I just did 2 work days in a row in 2 ends of the world, and then you go to sleep for a couple hours and wake up and it happens again.
I don't think you've slept for about 8 months, have you?
No, not at all. Really, it's fucking retarded.
Yeah, jokes aside, I don't think you have.
But you know what?
Okay.
I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, you deserve what you got, mate. You've worked your ass off. Props for that. Number 7. Legally, you can't talk about token price. But it's your ultimate marketing tool. If it's necessary for the security of your network, you're screwed. You have to shill the token, and you have to assure people that the price will go up. But that's illegal in the US.
See, Elon Musk and Doge.
Yeah, good point.
Doge fundamentals to the moon. That's it. Right there. The whole fundamental analysis of Doge.
Yeah.
To the moon. Elon Musk built rockets to the moon, so it must be happening.
Okay, the rest of it is mainly around laws and so forth. But yeah, I think there's some fun points there, people. So anyway, that's kind of off the back of us throwing out a few jobs that we've got available. So if you do want to come and join us, go full-time crypto, get in touch. All right, boys, are we nearing the point? Should we check out some questions, see if we can find some good questions for potential winners?
Let me pick up some because there is like quite a lot. So let me go like from there is Abby that is asking, what do you think about banks letting their clients buy and sell Bitcoin? I mean, with the whole purpose of BTC was to make a decentralized system.
They're getting in on it, the banks.
That's an outstanding question.
Centralized.
You go first. I got some thoughts on this, but yeah, Stefano, what do you think?
I think that partially is actually a good thing, I don't think that the banks are by default the enemy. Is the entire financial system the problem? So, if they're adopting Bitcoin, it means that we can still play partially with the rules that we want. And it's just like a gateway for cashing out for whatever point you will have to do that. As long as you're not like selling the BTC to them and giving them your coins, and so losing the control and going back into fiat after that, you smartly went outside. I think that is okay. It's adoption, so cool.
Yeah. I mean, from my perspective,
their own wallets.
Sorry, where you go? I'll go last.
I was just going to say they don't have their own wallets, so do they in the bank adoption?
They're going to offer a custody service as well. So they're going to buy, sell, and custody. I think there's like 100 US banks. This got announced yesterday. I've had some very good insight into this. It's actually a friend that Stefano also knows. He's head of compliance for a global bank. They've been planning to launch this for a while. I think, who is it? Is it DBS or UOB in Singapore that are already doing it?
DBS is already launching that.
Yeah. So look, I've talked till I'm blue in the face on what I think Bitcoin is through 216, 217, 218, 219. It's with mixed emotions that I see Bitcoin now is kind of, it's become very much an asset, store of value for high net worth individuals, institutions. That's what's driving most of the price action we're seeing. Retail investors, I think, especially in my age group and above, are just too confused by the tech. So if they can go online and use their internet banking with their bank to buy some Bitcoin, look, it's going to absolutely freaking skyrocket the price of that asset. Let me just share this with you quickly as well on that front to further demonstrate what I'm talking about here. So yeah, as I say, look, it's mixed emotions for me because I fell in love with Bitcoin in terms of, for the first time, we have a money or a method of value transfer that's separate from state. So we had the state that separated from the church. State and church were always very intertwined. That's where finance was run from. State separated from church. Now, first time in human history, we've got an asset class that is separate from the state. So for me, that actually gives people the ability to control their value. Things that you've worked your ass off for, that's your value, whether it's Bitcoin, whatever, it's value. But you choose how you deploy that. It's up to you to store it. So, those attributes for I just want to remind the audience again, that's what I love about Bitcoin. It's lost on most people. It is a number go up scenario. You buy it, you hope it goes up in value, you get rich. Now, that's great. And look, when the banks do start custodying this, selling it, buying it, for me, it's going to go through the roof. So I've brought this as actually ETH, but Bitcoin's exactly the same. So here you can see the supply on exchanges at the moment. People, and it's on a downtrend here, is clearly showing us that whales are buying this asset and they're moving it off exchanges into cold storage. The chart's exactly the same for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So there you go. There's Bitcoin. Buckle up, people. So when the banks do come to play, and it's easy to acquire this asset from a retail perspective, then bang, off to the races. So good question. Got another one for us there, Stefano?
Yes. This is like, there are two people asking that, Ed and Daisy. How long should you hold crypto?
Depends which one.
Go.
It's not a great question. We need something a bit more.
It's a great question.
No, I think it's a very good question.
It's like, when you're born and your parents teach you about money, how long do they teach you to hold it? For your whole life.
Well, the reason, sorry to whoever asked that when I say it's not a great question. What I mean there is I've just talked about Bitcoin. Now that is a store of value. That's your piggy bank. That's your savings account. But Ethereum is entirely different. There's over 7,000 coins now. They all, well, not all of them, but there's a handful that do very different things. Bitcoin is very much in a category of its own at this point. You see where I'm coming from on that, guys?
No, I think you're completely wrong.
Me too.
Well, I would hold Bitcoin. So I'll answer your question. I would hold Bitcoin forever. I mean, it's a store of value. It's your bank account. It's your savings account. Other coins, they're utility tokens. You acquire them, you use them immediately. I mean, you can't say crypto is not a generic buy it, hold it at all.
So
I look at it like it's a system.
It's look at these two. They're upset now that I've challenged them. Here we go.
No, but it's
we're not upset. Now we got to war.
Yeah. I'm going then.
No, but like you have the old paper system, paper money, the balance is on a fucking government ledger controlled by their servers versus cryptographically, digital money that doesn't have a physical counterpart. Like that system, I think of when you say crypto, hold crypto, right? Like it's a new system. That's for me, when they say crypto, that's what I think of. I don't think of Bitcoin has this value and then ETH has this value. It's this new system. The genie is out. We're not going back,
Yeah.
So it's for life because that'll be the new system. Like,
oh, okay. And those terms, I 100% agree with you. We're I'm 100% in crypto. I think you guys are as well, or close to it. Yeah, it's the future, people. You are still early if you're watching this. You're early. You're really early. Might not feel like it. There's going to be other bull runs. Or actually, who knows? Maybe this one goes on for a hell of a lot longer than people think. So I think it will in certain sectors of the blockchain space. Bitcoin and Ethereum for sure. Not
It'll be like,
advice.
did you get in before Dogecoin? If you got in before Doge, big
man.
Doge mania, then you're an OG, right? If Doge brought you in, then you're a noob.
Okay.
The thing is that, like, in the same way of like whatever you're doing in the traditional finance, there are things that like you're keeping for a short term. Like if you're doing a trade, there are things that you're keeping like middle term. Could be like a stock, could be an ETF, could be like whatever. There are things that you keep like long term, like gold maybe. And there are things that like in some cases you will keep like for the rest of your life, like a house or, you know, real estate and things like that. Crypto is exactly the same. And it makes no change whatsoever there. There are things that you will keep for forever. Now, in my case, no surprise there, I guess. It's Ethereum, obviously. It plags also on the fact that, like, another question is, like, what do you think is going to happen to Ethereum? Or, like, do you think that Ethereum is going to get similar to Bitcoin in 2-3 years? I say that many times, and I do believe that sooner or later, no idea when, but sooner or later, the market cap of Ethereum will bypass the one on Bitcoin. I don't think that Bitcoin, you know, yeah, it's a store of value. Cool. That's it.
Yes.
Like it doesn't. When you think about that from a technical point, like, now I know that a lot of people are gonna be mad on this, but Bitcoin is really meh. Like there is really nothing there in terms of like what would.
I mean, look, it's an interesting point you raised there, because obviously, you know, it was when you two jumped on and started making some content with me. I mean, that's opened up an entirely new world for me. I was very much a Bitcoin maximalist. The rest were absolute rubbish. The only real use of a blockchain, you know, was indoctrinated into me was Bitcoin. I can unequivocally say that is complete and utter shit. After having just over a year now, really sort of delving into Ethereum, what's happening in DeFi and the NFT space. I mean, look, if I were to be attempting just to make Bitcoin content right now, I have no idea what I'd be talking about on the daily, to be honest.
You can ask Michael Saylor. He seems pretty good at doing that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is the same talk. I mean, but look, I rate that guy highly. I mean, he certainly won the Rookie of the Year award for promoting Bitcoin and the overall space. But yeah, the reality of it, and this is just in short, what I maybe want to get you guys to sort of elaborate on a wee bit here. But in short, from me, blockchain technology is actually quite basic. It really is inputs and outputs. You know, I'm sending you this, you're sending me that, and it keeps a record of that. It's, you know, and that's where Bitcoin, its simplicity in many ways is the beauty. But, you know, a lot of this other innovation, you got to be really careful when you hear about projects claiming to do all sorts of weird and wonderful things. Now, that is very much centralized databases, and they possibly use it, or they're using a blockchain to effectively keep that base or that settlement layer of transactions. And would you agree, Stefano, even Ethereum sort of falls into that category? The, you know, the innovation there has been these smart contracts, but so much happens off chain.
I think that, you know, I think that there is like an enormous difference. Like if you're considering like Bitcoin,
I'm just trying to explain to people that an actual blockchain, I mean, you can't have video streaming and rate all these weird.
That's not true. A blockchain is a database. Okay, that's all cool. But the point is that, like, when you're starting having like a decentralized blockchain,
okay, hang on, let me clarify. I'm talking a public blockchain.
Yeah. In a very simple way, Aavegotchi store the 100% of the NFT on chain on Polygon. It's a database, yes, it is a database, but it's become also a server. Not just a database, because the image, the file is saved on the blockchain. A smart contract it's saved 100% on chain. It's a database, yes, but it's also a programmable piece of software that is saved on the blockchain. The argument that a blockchain is just a database on Bitcoin, yeah, I agree with you, but absolutely not. We're not in that era anymore. Like, I'm sorry, but Ethereum on Polygon on layer 2s, you can do so much more. A blockchain becomes a decentralized machine, a decentralized PC with every single component that is relating to that. A CPU, a GPU, an hard drive, a RAM, and so on.
Yeah.
You mean like
Yeah, I mean,
Bitcoin
you can
Satoshi's
have a-
vision?
Sorry?
You mean like
What is that?
Bitcoin Satoshi's vision? They have massive servers. They're going to host all the information in the world.
Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, not to sort of cover
Okay.
the same material again, but my last show, I found it fascinating that of the top 10 movers in the last week, 4 of them were hard forks. They were Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, Ethereum Classic. What was the other one? What was the other one?
Doge.
Oh, well, I mean, Doge is a fork of Bitcoin, yeah, just with no developers and lots of security issues.
Litecoin.
Feel a fork.
Oh,
Litecoin
true.
is pumping too, yeah.
Yeah.
And just sit this round out. I'll catch the next round. Thanks, guys. I don't give a fuck about those coins.
Yeah.
I've traded them
Let's
once in a while.
give a scholarship away.
Which
First,
one?
Shall we
have
do
given away
the
some pirate
shall we-
chain. Pirate chain.
there's some good questions coming in, so let's keep that going. Maybe we give away the random one via the Discord first.
Sure.
Okay, get everybody get in there. We got 84
But people, there's more of you watching than likes, and after we lost the channel there for a while, it seems to me that maybe the algorithm's taking a bit of a battering. So we really appreciate it if you can give it a like for us, just to
51
help
likes.
out there.
51 likes, 68 watching, and
Smash
there's
the like button.
84 that have tried to get into the scholarship. You guys, if you have a scholarship, don't enter. Vince, Muchwell31, you already have a scholarship.
I already know that I would have to like push so many different calls on this, isn't it? Well, let's start. Number 1, 3, 2, 1.
Generate a lamb.
Okay, not having a scholarship actually,
Nice.
but alarm.
Are you there?
This
Can
is the
you hear
moment where
us?
you want to write
You
something.
win. You won. You got a scholarship.
Yeah, but we need a message.
Come on, you can do it. Where are you?
Oh no.
We need a text.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Are you with me? I have
Aha! I'm
90.
here.
Amir.
Amir, well done.
What? A lamb.
Amir. I'm here, not Amir.
Oh, Jesus! Like what?
God damn it.
Funny.
Okay. A lamb or a
Lamb.
Amir.
At this point, I don't even know. Anyway, you got the Gonza scholarship in 1 or 2 weeks.
I think
whatever.
it's a she from someone's just said.
Yes.
Sorry, she. Okay, you got. Wait, does it? You got a scholarship. This is becoming
win.
so confusing. From Jordan, whenever he decide that it's time to reactivate his program, basically.
Well, basically, Stefano gave me some tips on how to activate the multiple wallets and the multiple Chrome browsers, and I try to wrap my head around it, but I haven't yet. I think tomorrow with a fresh head, that'll be my task. Once that's done, then I can start building new teams. So I didn't want to put pressure and say it's going to be in a couple days, because then people start harassing me. So what's that? End of the month.
5 months.
Exactly. But I want to get as many scholarships on as possible soon.
Next
So,
year. Come back on the bear market.
it's everybody's priority. Believe me. Believe me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Very good. So it's the next one's for the best question, people. I saw a question there. Somebody's asking, why are some countries banning crypto? We've seen issues in Nigeria, Turkey, and India. And all three of those countries are just absolute hotbeds of innovation activity, with Nigeria actually having the highest rate of penetration of crypto in the world. Turkey was right up there as well. So my take on that, this article just came out today. The Fed did a survey, and 20% of respondents actually said that they felt crypto was a threat to financial stability. This is in the US. That surprised me. It's quite a high number there. Any thoughts on that, Mr. Gonzo?
The government's are scared of crypto?
Yeah.
Shocking. I'm shocked.
Why do you think they're scared?
Because they lose power and they lose the control of the money system. Pretty simple.
I would argue, if they're smart, it is an epic opportunity to be innovators. We're seeing the Chinese look to really, in some ways, decouple from a US dollar-based global economy. There's going to be a hell of a lot of power plays on that front. I think the US would be utterly cutting their own throats if they were to really take a harsh stance on crypto. And I don't think they're going to. I mean, we've obviously seen this nonsense coming out of New York at the moment, looking to assess the carbon emissions of Bitcoin mining and potentially ban it for 3 years in that state. But the reality is, there's always going to be somebody who's a little bit smarter than you who will go, well, you know what? You want to do that, sunshine? Come over here. And that'll happen with crypto. To places like, I mean, India is an interesting one. There seems to be sort of back and forth on this constantly. The reality is, some of the best innovation coming out of the crypto space is happening in India. Polygon Matic is a company out of India. I lived in India for a couple of years. Some of the smartest people on the planet are there. They're working in this space. So I don't think. I think it's just a case of, if we look back a couple of years to some of those Senate hearings and so forth, and it amazed me the people that were being put forward by the crypto community to actually talk with government. I was like, none of us had heard of these people that were there as the supposed Bitcoin experts. I think we're getting to a point now where, as things mature, you've got very big legal departments obviously associated with these institutions that are making plays now. Look, while there will be regulation, probably just specifically talking about the US and the EU here, I don't feel threatened that stupid decisions are going to be made. In fact, with Gary Gensler at the helm, I think it's going to be a very measured approach to this. So, countries where you've got maybe a small group of people that want to desperately hang on to power, and if they don't control the currency, then really what power have they got? So in struggling nations, you will see more of this, but overall, in developed economies, I think crypto and blockchain will be embraced. Thoughts, Stefano?
I think that it's quite like of a funny story to me, because I think that if a country is scared, they could literally, with the fact that a tons of people don't understand how cryptos are working, I think that they are sitting on the best opportunity to control the individuals for
exactly
forever.
That's what a blockchain does.
and so take for example what is happening in China, or basically with the digital yen and so on. You could right now, traditionally, when you have everything on paper, you do have people that are really controlling things like your taxation, money laundering, MAL, due diligence. There are enormous database and centralized servers that people import your name and check really your history on specific things and stuff like that. That's how it works. And you could basically put everything in a digital way, having like a digital currency, and using AI to basically, and algorithms to basically like being able to track things at hundreds of thousands of times faster and better and bigger compared to like a traditional mechanic way. And because you're obviously in a situation where tons of people are using cryptos and blockchain, you can, and everything is public in the majority of the cases, you could track those things as well. So you keep your control on the currency. You can print, demand and supply like as much as you wish, because you have there your digital version, which is really just like press and done. And at the same time, you can control everything that comes in and out. So you know exactly who is trying to like not paying taxes and who is doing fraud and who is doing all of this stuff. So a government is basically right now in the best position ever, because they can cover the digital currency as pure innovation, as embracing blockchain, when in reality, they're just like coming with an enormous pole that is going to go in specific places of your body. And, instead they're just going in the opposite direction and be like, no, we stop this, which to me just shows another thing, that people that are in power sometimes are more ignorant than the population, or they're more scared. But like either way, like it's really like a missed opportunity from a government point.
Exactly. And, it is ridiculous. If you take someone like Michael Saylor, for example, it astounded me that he turned around and said, look, I actually learned about Bitcoin by watching YouTube videos of, channels like this and so forth. But, that level of knowledge is still
he didn't say that
quite basic.
Michael Saylor watches hard forking.
He did. He said, I learned everything from hard forking, especially that Gonzo guy.
Hey, listen, so, the problem is that you're having governments, they're doing two things. They're fighting crypto or they're embracing it, right? But they're neither one of them are actually using crypto for the decentralized, permissionless, power to the people reasons for it. China is embracing it, but they're changing it to their needs. They're making it centralized, like Stefano said, the control of the money, control of everything, right? Tying it into everything that they want to control the people. The US is just fighting it, and you're getting individual states that are totally adopting it, right? Like Wyoming and Delaware is pretty open. I'm not sure which other states, and Florida seems really open to crypto. So, I mean, you're getting, it's like the blanket statement again, right? Like it's not just blockchain or crypto. It's like, are they actually going to adopt a real cryptocurrency, a decentralized cryptocurrency? Or are they going to sell you a pig and call it a steak? Or,
Yeah, I mean, look,
here's your hot dog.
I mean, I think what people need to understand, if you are new to the space, that a blockchain is effective, or a public blockchain like Bitcoin, Ethereum. These are effectively just public records of everything that's going on, visible to everybody. So it is this bizarre situation where we've had to sort of endure a number of years where people thought, okay, this is for money laundering and drug dealing. Now, the worst money launderers and drug dealers have probably been using crypto. It's a public record. I mean, cash. It's what cash is for. Yes, there's privacy coins that are around in the space, but even those are actually quite easy to, or at least they were sort of 18 months ago, 2 years ago when I looked closely at it. It was pretty easy to decipher who the hell was up to what with those. So, blockchains, I think, will remove a lot of fraud. They're also going to give the opportunity to, it's programmable money. So as far as sort of taxing the right people, being able to get payments to people that actually need it, as opposed to sending out a stimulus check to absolutely everybody. What's happening on blockchain now is really going to help on that front as well. It will remove fraud. So a lot of this is still lost on a lot of governments, which is a shame, but that will change. So, Nakomi, where are you from? You're making some pretty interesting statements here. I'd be interested to know what country you are from, if you could let us know.
Let's test it out. I'm going to send 50R to everybody in the Discord server right now.
To every single person.
No, all the people that are online, which currently...
How much?
50.
$50?
Yeah. So that'll be
What
split
and
between
in total?
50R will be split between, that's like
It's quite a bit.
$300.
Nice.
$300 at the current value. So it'll be split between 130 people, 140 people.
That's super duper cool of you, buddy. Well done.
The rate
There it
that
is.
ARG is going, that might be 5 billion in
Yeah, exactly.
So it works out to half an ARG each, which is pretty good. That's a $3 tip everybody just got in the server right now. If you check out the Discord server.
What for everyone that's currently live with us, or
Just on the
Just
Discord server.
okay,
It's not
There you go.
you can't rain on YouTube yet. Maybe you could, I don't know.
nice
Yeah,
little
I don't
little
think so.
bonus there for you all.
Let's test out how private it is. Now you got to get it off the tip bot into your pirate chain wallet, and then
And buy drugs.
you can buy whatever you want with it.
I'm expecting the channel to be taken down any second.
You can hire a
Not even joke.
relocator.
Not even joke. Okay.
What's that guy
right. So
called?
let's get back.
Hey,
let's get back.
What's that guy called that you hire to take you and like make you disappear and move to another country with a new identity? What's that guy called? What's that job?
What?
You know, like in the end of Breaking Bad, he hires the guy and he like relocates him, and it's like a fixer. You know, he like erases your identity and then gets you a new one and a new
Oh my
location.
God.
What's that called?
I don't know the name of that thing.
But it's a thing, right? Like it's a guy's job.
Yeah, no,
Not lots
there
of
is a guy that does that job in the sitcom. There is also for sure a guy that does that as a real job in real life.
Or maybe that's just called like the CIA.
Hey, let us know what countries you're all in here. I'm just trying to change this topic of conversation before my channel disappears.
So
Come on, let's get back to some questions. So Stefano's got a team to get away.
Here's the thing. So Chobile as well as like Noriel are basically like kind of like combining that question into one, because like Chobile is saying I'm quite interested about Ethereum. What is special about Ethereum? How can it help me in the future? And Noriel says, most of us was on the rat race for 8 to 9 hours of work a week. How can Ethereum help people who wants to get out of the rat race and have a stable income in the future? I'm a GrabFruit driver as of the moment. So Noriel, one thing, I'm sorry that you're working for Grab, because I personally think that it's one of the worst possible company ever. They're scammers, they're stealing money, they're absolutely dishonest individuals. So apologies for that.
Bad Grab experience there, Stefano.
Grab is one of the worst possible thing ever invented and created. Absolutely just a copy paste of a company that didn't learn absolutely nothing from it. Grab
I'm trying to remember, is Grab our main one in Singapore?
53 billion. Like how many billion in market cap they have now? It's
what's
insane.
your issue with them? I mean, for me, I've sent a
They're
message
terrible.
to come and pick me up and drop me off.
They're terrible. Grab is insane. Have you ever had an experience with a customer support at Grab? Their policy of literally like trying constantly of not giving you back your money, constantly trying to drain energy out of you so that at one point you're going to give up and they're going to keep your money after mistakes that they have made. I believe that there are at least 3 people that have had an encounter with me on the customer support at Grab that ended up crying on the phone because of me.
Oh, God.
And I'm saying this because like really their policy is the worst possible ever. There are moments where like you might use a coupon on $10 and they would destroy, like they will make a mistakes and they would tell you like, I'm giving you back 2 coupons of $5 each, where you're obliged of doing 2 orders on which they're
welcome to our weekly Stefano
on which they're taking at least $4 of service. So they're scamming you. They're absolutely
okay. So Kitten does say, Stefano, use Gojek. You have options.
I know. I do use Gojek.
Hey, but
and Sean says, let's move on to another topic.
Oh yeah, sorry.
If I was a Grab driver and I wanted to get into crypto, right, and you had to work the job, I was playing Axie.
No. Well, sorry. One thing. So I don't know where you're located, but I know, for example, that like in in Singapore during the ICO bubble, there was one company that has done like an ICO that is basically like Grab or
MVL.
Gojek.
MVL.
Could be. I really don't remember the
Motor
name.
Vehicle League.
The one that works like with like Grab but with cryptos.
Taxi. It's like Grab Taxi. Yeah, MVL. I have a bag of it. It's awesome. And I got that because of the exact reason that it was like Grab and Gojek and all that stuff was totally seemed like ripe for a crypto app, right? And so I bought it in 2018. It was just garbage. Like it just tanked and it seemed like it was dead, but they had a real business they were building, but the crypto token was just thrashed. And just like 2 months ago, I checked it and it was worth like 15K, but I couldn't sell it anywhere because it was only in Korea that you could get the token or something. I don't know.
Time to go to Korea.
It's only worth like 7K now.
But
I tell you what, I walked in the rain in Korea for 2 hours trying to get a taxi.
So here's the thing on like.
Anyway, why are we talking about taxis?
Yeah, because that's what we're talking about.
Right.
Like, how can you escape the 9 to 5? And that also goes like to what we were reading previously on like now nowadays everybody's saying like that they're quitting their job to go full time on cryptos. There is one thing that the entire tweet trend didn't actually cover. That is the fact that why so many people are written that now is because the return that people are getting right now, they seem so crazy. And so people are thinking like, because it's gonna be like this forever, I can totally quit my job because I'm making enough money that, you know, I can just leave off what I'm doing now in the crypto space, trading, investing, doing play to earn and those type of things. Now, one thing on that, don't make that mistake because you need to think about this in the sense of like, what if that income that you're getting today, the return that you're getting today, decrease of like 90%? What if your entire net worth right now that, you know, chances are that maybe is like $100,000, $1 million, whatever it is. What if that thing's decrease of like 90%? Then if you're still capable of quitting your job with that type of income, then you're in a good situation because you're ready for the bear market.
Look, I'm case in point in that one, Stefano. I decided to go full-time in crypto and at the start of 2017, and that worked out well in 2017. It was an absolute misery scenario.
That's the thing. That's
for a while afterwards, so careful.
No, that's the point. But however, so one thing on that, because like this is like where I'm going with this is the fact that like, so why is Ethereum so important? Why I'm like so much of a believer in Ethereum and so on. Ethereum is allowing all of this like situation of basically like what it's gonna happen, the next phase of the internet, where and we mentioned this in the past multiple times. What it's going to happen at one point is that you as a user, you're going to be rewarded for every little things that you're doing online. And so you can already see that like in some extent on like using the Brave browser instead of using Chrome. Brave pays you. You make like $3, $4, $5 a month on like getting some pop-ups of advertisement. You can use D-Search instead of using like Google as like a search engine, and you're getting like around 20 cents a day on like making search and so on, like using that traditionally. You can play a game instead of playing like something like Fortnite or Call of Duty Mobile. You can play Axie, you can play Lost Relic, you can play like, you know, all of these play to earn games that are available. The more time it passes, the more these things are going to be natural and they're going to be like on an everyday life. You're going to, sooner or later, you're going to have a version for like, you know, Netflix, Spotify, a Play Store instead of like the Google Play Store, the Apple Play Store, where like the apps that you're trying, you're going to be rewarded for that. It's going to be something where naturally you're going to earn money for what you're doing. Now, obviously, you're telling me like, yeah, but this is going to happen like in 5 years from now and these type of things. So what you can do today is basically like start looking for these type of things that are already available. And let's assume that you don't have a big capital.
Just buy Doge.
Don't, please, really don't. Jokes aside, but like really, the meme is cool because it's a meme. Really, don't buy that. But you know, there are a lot of things that like, and that's one of the things that we've shown so many cases in so many times, that you can really take the time that you have and transform that in a way or in another. play to earn. Axie is definitely like the best example on that, but there are other play to earns that you can start doing that already today. There is staking. There are opportunities like all these airdrops that were showcases every single time. As of today, for example, if you're joining the Galaxy Farm, or if you're joining the Bancor AXS liquidity pool, you're basically like making a couple of hundreds of dollars for free in 24 hours because those opportunities are there already. You know, you start doing this with like one thing, another thing, another thing. You're starting being active on these type of things. You cashing in $1,000 a month with very little effort actually on doing things like that, with no boss, with no managers, with no absolutely retarded client that tells you like that they won their panini in 30 seconds or they're going to throw that on your face and you lose the money. You know, nothing of these things is there and is present. And you start doing these things step by step, little by little.
Yeah.
And that's how you
listen to what Stefano is telling you here, people. He's not giving you financial advice. He's just trying to open your eyes to the multitude of opportunities that are coming, and especially if you're early. You know, these projects with airdrops, etc. You know, God, there's so many ways you can generate yield income in the space, and it is just beginning. So listen to what he's saying. I strongly agree with everything. Mr. Gonzo, here's a question probably for you, maybe a good one for you actually, from Abby. I'd like to know what you guys do when you feel overstimulated with crypto stuff. How do you separate work from your free time? Do you guys ever get tired of red and green candles? I'll let you go first.
What free time? Just feels like I'm constantly in crypto. You know, I don't know. Yeah. Definitely not a lot of balance going on in life right now. That's for sure. You know, and I mean, there's different types in your life where, you know, you can balance that out, where you balance your work and your family time and your relaxed time. But currently, there's no balance. It's all crypto all the time, just because it's like, you know, it's time to make hay. And, you know, I feel like this is an opportunity of a lifetime right now. And lots of caffeine, lots of smokes, and lots of energy drinks, and, you know, not a lot of sleep. I mean,
there you go. Take up smoking.
Advice. It's not the best advice. If you smoke the right thing, it's good though.
After the SIA, the drug.
The what?
Look, I gotta say, I mean, it absolutely. I'm just immersed in it for a number of years. I was literally the guy who would just be told shut up by everybody else because all I wanted to talk about was crypto. Obviously, those same people now are calling me, sending me messages, wanting help, which is rather hilarious. And I'm more than happy to give
Doge? Should I buy Doge?
Yeah, I got a couple of people asking about Doge as well.
But, you know, I think with anything in life, it really boils down to, are you doing something on a daily basis that you simply don't enjoy? Now, if you are, my advice to you there is just, God, find something else. I mean, there is so much happening in the space. If we look at our Mr. Gonzo here, you know, I think the bulk of your work was centered around animation, content creation, and you've just taken that skill set and moved it into the blockchain space with great success. So, you know, everybody has got a skill, and there will be places within what's happening in blockchain. It's just up to you to, you know, to find where you can apply that. I hope the show we make here, you know, helps to sort of spark that. But, you know, the three of us are case in point on that. You know, find your space because there is everything happening in this space.
Find your vertical.
You know,
find your vertical.
Find your vertical. You know, for me personally,
estate.
it doesn't feel like work. I actually genuinely love what I've done in the space for 5 years now.
You know, like any field that you're in, you know, it might not be a mainstream crypto project, but I guarantee you, like if you're into biology, I'm sure that there's some kind of crypto that is being explored to use biology, right?
Yeah.
You're into entertainment, you're into, you know, e-commerce, whatever. There's like investing. There's so many different avenues. You just gotta do a bit of research and find the new projects that are coming out and see if you can get involved with them. Well, once you figure out if they're scams or not, it is kind of scam season right now. But
Yeah. So Abby, the second statement you made in your question there, you know, do we get sick of looking at candles? Look, recently I have been doing some day trading. You know, there's times in the market where for me that makes sense, but that's a tiny percentage of my time. I know Stefano, it's zero of his time. I think you looking at candles, Mr. Gonzo, that's kind of used to be a focus for you. I don't think it is so much anymore.
Yeah, I did a lot of day trading for a couple months at a time, but then, you know, right now I'm not doing that. I trade, but I don't day trade. Like,
that's not full time in crypto. If you're a trader, that's nothing to do with being full time in crypto at all.
Well, I mean, I think everybody in crypto does some trading, though. I mean, even Stefano said he doesn't trade. He still sells profit and he buys stuff that's low, right? Like, that's trading. It's just not like my job is analyzing stuff and trading every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's true. It's true. I mean, like, I do have like positions where, like, you know, I enter, maybe like I exit after 5 years, or I exit like after 2 weeks, depends on like specific things. But I never look at charts. That's true. I never done that. But if I may, actually, one thing, jokes aside, me and Jordan has been like talking a lot in private about like this, and like you really get tired. You physically and mentally really get tired. It's exhausting. But the reason why it is like that is because crypto is one of the sectors that works in a very, very weird way, because it's a cycle. During the bear market, if you were around during the bear market, and if you weren't, you will be around on the next cycle, you would see that the speed of how things happens gets flat. Like nothing happens. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
And you're still there and you're like sitting down like a mummy for 2 years. So I'm like, crypto. Everything is different. Then the bull comes in place and 24 hours becomes boom, 10 years in the normal.
That's where we're at right now.
Exactly. So because you are kind of like getting used of these things, that you know that like this thing is not going to last forever. You know that like your bull run, it's time. You know that you don't know when it's going to happen, but you have an idea. You know that like, you know, there is like that cycle. And so traditionally by the end of this year, the stats and the history and like all of that things is telling you that you should be at the end. And then there are other theories that sees like this is going to be different, but this is not the point that I'm trying to put. It's the fact that like, you know, when you're in a bull run, when you're working in the space, because you feel it. Because every morning you wake up and you're like, damn, I have so many things to do. Your email box is full of things that and tasks that you need to do. When you're in bear, you know that you're in a bear market because you wake up in the morning and there is nothing.
Actually,
Zero.
Stefano, on that note, do you just want to, because obviously you're looking to hire somebody for your business. There may well be somebody that's in the chat now or will watch this video. Do you want to quickly let people know what you are in need of? So, personally, I can't think of anything worse than working for Stefano, but one of you might want to do that.
It's true. No, I agree. I agree. So when you see me like, you know, streaming or making fun or having jokes and so on, it's one thing. But in business, I am a completely different person. I'm very strict and I'm very, very not exactly like the funniest person around. Let's put like that.
He possibly holds a world record for firing people, so just factor that in before you send him a message about this job.
I did got a record, that is true, where like I don't even remember the number exactly, but there was one time in one of the companies where I was working in that I fired something like, I don't know, 18 people one morning, because like I got like super upset. They were bullshitting. They were 100% bullshitting. They thought that they were the smartest people in the room because they were coders. One of the things of like developers is that you will notice that they believe that because you don't code, that you don't know how to code. Because if you know how to code, you will be a coder. That will be your job. And so they were bullshitting, and I told them like, no, you're full of shit. And they were like, well, then we don't do anything else if you don't provide us what we need. And I was like, okay, you're all fired. Get out. And
on that note, what do you need?
So what
we
I
are actually
need,
looking to hire somebody at the moment.
that's true, jokes aside. So the business has been like growing quite a lot, and I'm basically looking for someone that can kind of like doing a little bit of everything. So think about like an operational person in a startup, which basically being that you're gonna do everything and nothing. So I need someone that could do a little bit of sales. So we have people that comes to the website. That means like answering questions and having that ABC. And knowing the moment when it's time to like close the deal. If you don't know what ABC is, that's not the job for you already. Then I need someone with like a little bit of marketing experience, because obviously like you need to know when it's time to like follow back up with the lead that is dropping out and like those type of things. I need someone that has a little bit of admin experience, so that can, you know, keep in track to like where we are in the incorporation process for a client, if there are any documents that needs to be signed, like those type of things. And then someone with a little bit of like spine, I would say, because there are many cases where we need to, you know, communicate with the partners, and sometimes the partners tend to like, you know, get loose, and so they are not performing very well, and you need to ensure that like you're keeping that on the leash every single time, because if they're not delivering on time, clients are coming on your back demanding for like refunds and stuff like that. So it's very intense, and you need to be like a little bit also bossy in some cases, not rude, but you need to like hold your guard and know when someone is trying to like bullshitting you.
Super organized with a very thick skin, I would say.
Yeah, someone that knows sales and marketing, that is organized, he or she, obviously, I don't care about the gender, and that has, yes, a lot of
And they can be
skills.
based anywhere on the planet. This is all
Anywhere in
remote.
the world, whoever you are, it doesn't matter. The job is like obviously decentralized, so that's how we operate. The only real requirement, apart from like that type of persona, is that you need to know how to write in English. That unfortunately, like it's a must, because that's a communication that we're having on. But apart from that, really, as long as you have a laptop and you know how to write in English, those are the only two must requirements. And then the type of persona and experience is what I just mentioned, basically.
Okay. And how would you prefer them to get in contact with you?
Well, if you're watching this, chances are that, you know, you are part of this course, so you can DM me and talk directly, or otherwise you can reach out to, you know, my email, which is, you can text on corporazzi.com or something like that.
Okay. Very good. So hopefully there's somebody out there or you know someone, get into the Discord and get in touch with the two guys. A couple of jobs.
Oh yeah, let me be very specific on this. Like, I'm really looking for someone that can take a slap on the chin. Like, I'm not looking for, you know, someone that is gonna get upset or getting mushy or stuff like that. Like, this is serious war every single day, like, type of thing.
Nakomi says the Discord is not accessible from mobile devices.
There is the mobile version of Discord, but I don't know, maybe by clicking the link it doesn't work. On Android, it should redirect you automatically if you have the app installed on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't shed too much more light on that one.
There was some questions.
Yeah, let's get those questions coming, people. That's the winner will be the best question. So far away. Have you got one there, Mr. Gonzo?
Yeah, from Kitten Dust. It's very Axie specific, but it's the question that pretty much everybody has on their mind about the SLP being unclaimed. Now the team originally said, what is it? Kitten Dust, can we talk about the unclaimed new SLP right now? Where will the price go after we can sink? Unfortunately, the price almost guaranteed is going to tank, I think, because we've had this gap now where everybody's migrated. Anybody that has SLP, well, I just counteracted my own argument in my own head. But, you know, everybody that had SLP is pretty much like spent it right now, breeding, I think, or selling it because, you know, the price is so high. Then that's old SLP. The new stuff inside the system, you can't claim it, so you can't sell it, right? And so nobody has any new SLP. And then as soon as it's being activated, everybody that was seeing all this profit, they're going to dump, I think. And then that'll probably drive the price down for a little bit. and then you're going to get the breeders that are going to pick it up and go for another round of breeding, and then it's going to pump again, and then we'll see some equilibrium after a couple of cycles like that, I think. But it's hard to
Okay.
tell. Because it's a token swap, and there was definitely like a closed system there with SLP on Binance driving the price up, because the new token is what the actual utility token is, and the old one is actually useless. It's not the utility anymore. So you couldn't breed Axies with it, but it was still listed on Binance. So, they had a fair control of it and turned the pump jets on, and you can already see it's bleeding out pretty good. I mean, it's down to 20 cents now. It was up to 30 cents. Crazy. I wish I had some myself, but I didn't. So I just bred with it the whole time. And I think that's the best way to look at it. You can make more money by using the SLP to breed an Axie and sell the Axie than it costs to breed than the SLP, right? So if you have two virgins, it costs 200 SLP to make a new Axie. That Axie at the minimum is worth $150 to $200. So 200 SLP, even at 30 cents is like, not that much. So the better mechanics are, you get the SLP to breed. You need to have two Axies to start with, but it's a much better system than just selling SLP on speculation for its token price.
Okay, very good. Right, people. So we're about to do the next giveaway, but we need some solid questions here. And I'm not sure whose hair you're talking about. Where did you get your hair cut up? That's probably not going to win you the prize.
Yours, Sean, by the way. They're asking about yours. They literally say that, your hair.
My hair. Okay. Well, that currently is the best question. So you're in with a good chance if you can beat that, people.
Sean's
so keep
question so far.
I cut my own hair.
With the lawnmower?
Do you really?
Yes.
Huh.
Impressive. So do I.
No. No doubt, Sherlock.
No shit, Sherlock.
Okay, come on, people. You want to get a team? Fire some good questions at us. Let's go. Bring it on.
What's happening to the market, by the way?
Shall we have a look? Ethereum took a bit of a nosedive today, but it's clawed its way back up.
Yeah, I know. I had to buy dinner.
There was a follow-up like kitten dust.
I had to buy dinner.
No doubt, Stefano. No doubt.
It's
all right, let's have a look.
I wish I could actually be like big enough to move the market on ETH.
What did I just see there?
Can I just follow up with kitten dust there?
Yep.
They asked why the rebrand to Smooth Love Potion. Purely it's just for marketing, and it's not. It's literally because it's going from ERC20 token to the Ronin token. So it's because it's switching chains. So they have to do a cross chain somehow. So that's what they're doing.
And so it was better to actually like put a different name for, they could have also changed like the SLP, like even the type, but it's okay.
Sexy Love Potion.
Oh, man, the Doge is making another move, 7% in the last hour. Good
it's gonna go. It's gonna go like to the moon.
I spent yesterday looking into what exchange I can short it on. I think I found one.
Binance, man.
Yeah, but I don't know why Sean is showing us this thing. Like,
you said, let's have a look at the market.
Yeah, I wanted to see like the first one. I don't want to see the top coin winning of the last.
What would you like to look at, Stefano?
So let's see. Tether seems interesting. Okay.
Chainlink making move. It's gonna be
it is. Look
soon.
At that.
I finally bought some Chainlink, Mr. Gonzo.
Nice, good for you.
Yeah,
about time.
Don't worry, Jordan. Ethereum Classic is gonna bypass Chainlink.
Crazy, right?
Soon. It's okay.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else? Have you
there was someone that was asking.
Hidden gems?
So one of the question was about Tron. Let me see Tron what he's doing, because I'm not following Tron at all. I used to be into BitTorrent, and then I sold a long time ago.
Tron up 30% last week.
Not bad, not bad.
EOS up 100%. Oh my God, what is going on? Good Lord. Who's got a hidden gem for the audience?
Let me skim what I've got.
Gonzo, give the audience a hidden gem, not financial advice.
For a longer term play or a short term?
Longer
term. Revamon is in a good price right now, and it's still developing. It's going to be a good play to earn game long term if you want. Still hasn't pumped like crazy. That would be a good one. I'd encourage everybody to look at that. VR Pokemon, right? Everybody loves Pokemon. Got to collect them all. So it's like that. Right. You collect the little monsters. They're still building the game. The alpha's coming, so it's still super early, but the price is good because it hasn't pumped. So, you know, you don't want to buy shit
I think
that's
you're
up
lining them up.
600%. You want to buy stuff that's in the green, in the red. So it hasn't had its cycle yet. That's what I would.
My hidden gem. You're gonna get those guys on the channel, right?
Yep, they're still getting organized a bit though, because you know they just finished their pre-sale, and they're lining up some NFTs in the meantime before the game starts. So working on some partner.
We actually our new trader that's joined the channel called out Dash 2 weeks ago. That's had a nice move. Yeah, well done, Baloo. What's that?
And Baloo joined the hard forking Discord there. I saw him. He's asking.
Yeah. He's actually he's been watching our Axie content. He actually wants to come on a show with you boys because he's got some Axies. He's breeding based on watching our content. So if you are watching Baloo, awesome. So my hidden gem, and it's not that hidden, people. I actually, even at 70.757, think that Polygon Matic is a no-brainer. I think this will be a top 10 coin. This is not financial advice.
Even at 757941, Sean, do you think that?
Even at 757941, Stefano, I do. Oh, it just went down. It's even better.
Even better.
Yeah, disclosure. I do have Polygon. You have to say that legally. Not shilling it. I believe in it. Great project. So yeah, that's my hidden gem. What's yours, Stefano?
Yeah, I bought Voxies long time ago. I'm happy with that. Turn out that the Voxies that you will buy for like 0.04, 0.08. If you
you bought the Doge Voxie.
I have a Doge Voxies. Yes, I have an astronaut.
Can you screen share that?
Let me see. Let me see if I can. So by the way, the legendary are now going for 1 ETH. So I'm pretty happy with the return of investment over there. Now let me see if I can find the astronaut Doge. 1 second.
Mr. Gonzo, while he's doing that, could you maybe bring up the project review board and we'll just have a quick look at projects that we've reviewed on the channel.
Okay, let me screen share.
Okay. And bear with us, people. We are going to do the next giveaway very, very shortly.
Can you see my screen?
Can indeed.
Okay, these are all like the little Voxies that I got. A couple of epics, one legendary, but there it is. Look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. He's doing a dab as well. Pew, pew. This is how I spend my money.
How much did you pay for that?
0.04 when I bought that. So how much is 0.04 in... let me see.
$100.
Like $80?
Well, we're about to find out. 2 million. 0.04, 138, 140. See, $140. Cool, right? It's worth it, huh? Isn't
bargain.
It? Of course, it's a Doge astronaut. Like, how can you not find this?
Except beautiful? For the fact that you didn't just buy that one. How many did you buy before you got that one?
Oh, this was one of the first that I got, actually. And it's a common, by the way, which is terrible. From an investment point of view, it's the worst possible thing that you can be happy about.
Well, we
because of the
can't give
comment.
financial advice. Everyone knows that. But I am asking you to what you consider a good investment right now.
Well, for example, this guy that I got that is a legendary.
Boxies, but they're random though. You can't just pick.
Yeah, they're random, but like that's exactly the point. You got a good one, you're set. There it is. This is a legendary. This little guy goes for 1 ETH because it's a legendary one. There are only 200 of this. So this that I pay 0.04 give me a 25x return. You want a good a good hidden gem? Bam, 25x return.
Okay,
Keep looking at your TA, huh?
Sell it.
No, why am I selling it? It's the game is not out yet. This thing is gonna go way higher. No point of selling it now.
Yeah, we've seen clearly been a bit of a shake-up in the NFT space when you look at the capital out. Well,
maybe
not
for
outflow.
you, I'm having people offering me $850 for a jacket. So you can see the shakeout that you want. I don't care.
Look, you didn't let me finish there. I think it is just early days on that front. There's obviously been that big hype cycle like there is with everything. We're seeing it in DeFi's just massive resurgence now after the DeFi summer. I think, the NFT space has come storming back, but with better quality, that's just how markets work. You get an influx of nonsense. When
I think there were...
It's weird. Like my NFT stuff is pumping right now. How about yours?
Mine?
Yeah.
Apart from NBA Top Shot, that I'm actually like not selling anything right now. Tons of the packs, couple of packs that I bought for like $9, and you got like the 3 moments that I'm trying to sell them like for 15, 20. No movements there because the market has really went down, and now you sell them for like $5, $6 each. But apart from that, no, I sold even yesterday. Like I put on sale some orange.
Do you have an NBA Top Shot NFT that you've got that you can show me?
I have quite a bit of.
I've not seen one. I'm quite intrigued.
Let me see if I can log in from here.
So I'm assuming you weren't a basketball player or watch basketball. This is purely an investment for you.
No. I used to play basketball. I know you will never say that from my physique, but
he's actually 6'10", people.
No, I
never have thought.
I used to, but I'm a big fan of basketball in general. But
fastest growing sport in my country.
Which account am I in? I don't remember. Let's go with that.
Right. While he's doing that, I am scanning the questions, people.
Here. So
who wants to win?
Screen share. Let's see. I'm doing a mess. God damn it. Okay. Share. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so this is my account. There's nothing too fancy. Then I can show you like the actual. Did I just destroy everything? Then I can show you like the returns and everything. But this is like a moment, basically. There it is.
ESPN must be rich. They have so many basketball highlights.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're just like little loops with like obviously the stats of the game of the
I just used to watch highlights on sport on TV. Now you
however, that's the point of that. Like, so right now you're seeing that like I'm selling some for like $15 and stuff like that, which is peanuts. Because in reality, if you're looking at this, like I'm trying to sell that for $15, and if I'm looking like view listing, the base floor price is $5, so the values are pretty low. However.
Quick question, Stefano, because I'm a massive cricket fan, and as a kid, collecting the cricket, like all the having a whole set. So when there was a World Series of cricket, you wanted to get all the cards for each player and each team.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was about. That was the whole thing. Having sets of things. Does that apply here with NBA Top Shot?
Well, see, that's a big issue that I have with this, because in reality it's unlimited supply. A lot of people are calling this like the 2.0 of the figuring, which is fair because, like, you know, they're actually videos, they're not just like the picture per se, but the quantity of things that you get, it's insane. Like they're constantly adding and adding stuff. Like let me show you a couple of things on this. So on my activities, if you're going like now, you can see that like I bought a pack for $9, I sold the moment for $20, I bought a pack for $9, I sold another one, I purchased one for $20 because I needed that for buying this pack and so on. But if you're going like back in when I start, I sold the moment for $300. I sold the moment for $500. Your moment was sold for $181. See, like your moment was sold $180. So I was like, oh, nice. You started like there was a lot of hype, and now you're going and you can't even sell them $15 because like the floor level is basically like $5, which it's not good at all. So, you know, you got in a situation where like demand and supply, the demand is there. Yes, they have crazy demand on NBA Top Shot. There's like 500,000 users that trying to like jump into sales every single time. It's insane. But the problem is that the influx of moments is constantly going and going and going. Like the
Well, they're just destroying their own marketplace then. But surely it's going to get to a point where they realize, okay, you know, that's where we get into the intellectual property rights, and, you know, the individual players will have, you know, a limited amount of their own NFTs. I mean, you know, you can see how this space is going to develop. Yes, it's saturated now. It's probably a bit of a money grab with this and many other projects in the NFT space. But, you know, that digital scarcity, same concept as Bitcoin, isn't it?
That's the thing. You need like some sort of supply and demand in place.
Otherwise, it's not interesting to me in the slightest.
No, you know, you don't care. Now, you can obviously have like something like, you know, you're a big fan of, I don't know, I'm going to state like the obvious things. You might have like, you're a big fan of LeBron James and you want to have a moment where LeBron James is winning the ring, you know, something like that. Yeah. And that's obviously because you're a fan. And I understand that. But come on, there is a limit on how much supply you can put on something, you know? Like,
yeah, I mean, look, start of an industry, it's, you know, you can clearly see the good and the bad here. But, you know, the ability to turn these things into an NFT, getting the rest of the business model correct around scarcity, structuring it properly, that's going to come.
One thing on that. So I don't know if I can share that because I don't know if they're like private information or not. But Andrew is asking, I want to hear what Stefano has to say about NBA Top Shot. So right now, since I start NBA Top Shot because I got an airdrop because I own some CryptoKitties. Once again, and this is the story all the time. I don't trade. I got things for free because I'm in the industry. And not because I'm special, like I'm nobody. It's like everybody can get like airdrops and stuff like that. And so what I've done was basically like then entering because I received 3 moments for free. And as of today, my initial investment has been 0. And my return of investment as of today has been $1,100 USD dollars. It's not changing life money. I'm nobody that has like sold like millions of dollars, like in some articles and stuff like that. I'm really just like a normal user that is, you know, flipping stuff here and there for some extra bucks. I like it. Don't take me wrong. I like the NBA. It's a sport that I'm very close to, but you know, there are so many things in the ecosystem that I'm not a fan of. The fact that like everything is blocked here, that you cannot export them, that you don't really truly own the NFT, that everything is basically more centralized than decentralized, that the real use of the Flow blockchain is very questionable. The fact that like withdrawal always have problems. The fact that the supply, that there is no really a proper structure in place, but that the team decide when the drops happen, how often they happen, the time frame, like all of these things is very, very centralized. So my entire point is that it's a cool use case,
but it's still magic internet money.
And I don't even see the point of the blockchain right now for something like this. I really believe that the fact that they're a blockchain project counts really nothing right now for something like this. So I like it because I'm a fan, but it's really one of those things that, do I see a future for this? Now, I'm a big fan. Well, here's the thing. If Jordan has put 380 millions, this is the best project on earth. That's hands down. Can't say anything else.
Well, so okay. I mean, you've highlighted the things that maybe aren't so great with this particular project. What for you is your favorite NFT? What's something special that you can share with the audience?
See, there are a lot of NFTs that are doing very, very cool things. I like Voxies because Voxies are giving so it's such a broke question because like Voxies is nice because like they are characters for a tactic game. So they have like that limited aspects. There are 10,000. They have different skills. They have different rareable aspects and so on, which is the same thing of weapons on Lost Relic. Is the same thing on, Axie is another thing that I like because you create your NFTs. It's not the community that is throwing NFT at you and you need to buy them every single time. I like Aavegotchi because the NFTs are on chain and because the mechanics of NFTs and DeFi are matched together. So there are like a lot of learning things over there. But then at the same time, like there is, see, I showed this on Twitch last time, and let me see if it's still available or not. I think it's actually got sold already, but let me see. Okay, no, it's already got. So there was an auction on OpenSea for this person that I've created this thing called dreams weight more than excuses. And it was a loop video where there was like a butterfly and an elephant that were sitting like on a bench, and the butterfly was sitting on the bench and it was heavier than the elephant. And it was all of this animation video basically that was done. There was an auction and they were selling also like the infinite object, like the frame, in the same way that Beeple would do that. That's just a video. It's nothing else. But man, it was beautiful. Like it was so nice. It was super, super beautiful. It got sold for, I don't know, like last time that I checked, it was like $14,000 or something like that. So it was crazy expensive as a price. But, I also like NFTs that sometimes are just for you. Like it doesn't mean that every single NFT needs to have a purpose. Every single NFT needs to have a market. Every single NFT needs to make money. Sometimes you just see something and you like it and you want to own it because you can. And there is nothing wrong with that.
Mr. Gonzo, what's yours?
Well, it's a toss-up right now because...
You are out of focus, by the way.
Oh, really? One sec.
And we're about to give the next Axie team away, people. So now's your chance to fire a question.
My favorite NFTs is toss-up, purely based on involvement, and that's Axies and Block Duelers. Block Duelers is a bunch of NFTs that I created, and I'm having a huge say in how it's working, so structuring the artists that make them, and the royalties that we get back on them. There's a lot of, I feel like setting up a system so that artists can capitalize on the art that they're making, right? So with this project, I'm bringing in a lot of traditional artists, and you make the NFT and you can have different formats, like a high res, nice print, then you can have a smaller pixelized version. You can do more runs that, like we're talking about, micro NFTs, right? There's 1,000 of them and they only cost $1 each, but everybody can get one, right? And then you have the really big ticket price one that's like, a huge painting, and it's got a physical NFT connected to it. Those cost more money. So Block Duelers has allowed me to help develop these ideas, as far as creative control and like royalties for artists. And Axies, because, like what we're doing with the scholarships and seeing how it's affecting people's lives here, it's been all in right now. So NFT brain is exploding.
Okay. Kitten Dust, Mr. Gonzo, I want to hear your opinions. What will happen if other people like Elon have money power to joining crypto? What's the worst and the good things that will happen in the future of crypto?
If people like Elon join crypto, is that the question? If Elon joins crypto,
Yeah, I think she's just asking. Well, about powerful people joining the space. I think they are in droves at the moment.
Right. Yeah. Well, right now, because it's so small, people like Elon Musk have a lot of influence because they got gigantic stacks of capital. They can move the market up and down. You know, like nobody knows if he actually holds Doge or not, but guaranteed he probably does. Right. Like, come on. Right. So when the market is smaller, like it's still not fully adopted. Right. The reason you see these wild swings is because guys with lots of capital come in and move the market where they want it to go. Right. You make a huge dump and you have sell orders at the bottom. You have stacks on both sides. So you do a big sell, causes FOMO, and then people hit your sell targets, right? And that hits their buy targets, and then they pump it. And then everybody's like, oh, I sold all my shit for cheap, right? So as more big players like that come in, you're going to see less volatility because it's going to take more to move the markets. But that's what you get with the small shit coins, is that all it takes is a little bit of marketing hype and right. So, you know, it's good that, you know, these larger entities with all this giant amount of capital that come into the industry, but that's why the SEC is around, you know, in the ideal of it is that so these big players can't just go and manipulate the markets like it's kind of happening right now.
Yeah. Okay, last chance for questions, people. And then we will be giving the team away. What do we got?
One thing on that, because I know that Andrew is asking about that, and I think like I can answer that. So sorry. I know the team. I both know the CEO and the chief operation officer, and there is also like a picture of us all together on my Instagram, by the way. So they're amazing. So the CEO is a very, very good, knowledgeable guy. Is a physical art collector. Like he really knows the hard market in and out. He does that like as a job. Now I don't know if what it's public or not. So I'm not gonna go like too much into the details and everything, but I can tell you that like Ecomai has some very solid investors. I'm not talking about VCs or business angels or anything like that. I'm talking about like specific huge Fortune 500 companies that are like in the board there that are supporting the projects. And the team knows exactly how to do things in the terms of like collectibles and things like that. So Andrea, just because like you're mentioning the Mermicons and so on, I do have like a tons of physical Tokidoki. So I'm really like a big fan. That's why I got in contact with them, because I love Tokidoki. So if you're into like the simple fact of like really the collectibles aspects, they really know what they're doing. And you can see that because they are one of the few projects that have licenses for what they're actually pushing in place. With Tokidoki, they do have a partnership. With the DC, they do have a partnership. They're one of the guys that has like helped the Pokemon, being like all the franchise, not the franchise, the IP of Pokemon, to be like with all the toys and all the stuff to be made. So they really have an experience on that. It's a solid project. Like really, if you are into those things, 100% for sure.
Very good.
Digital collectibles. Bros, I gotta go soon. My daughter needs me.
Yeah. I've got to wrap it up shortly as well. We've been going for over 2 hours. We should probably just give
you guys don't have kids, man.
Oh,
I gotta
true. And does Kitten Dust have a team? Like she's putting. I see her here in this space regularly asking good questions.
How do you know it's a her? Maybe it's a dude.
Because I think the picture is of a lady. No,
it's a cat.
Oh, is that a cat? Kitten Dust. Are you a man or a woman?
Sorry. So one thing, Aaron, how could we create an NFT smart contract? Can anybody explain how it works. So traditionally, the problem with NFTs is that you cannot place the image, the file in a block because it will consume too much space and it will cost a fortune to basically store that on the blockchain. So the way that a lot of companies are doing that is either by using a centralized server, unfortunately, or IPFS, where you get like your file, you distribute that by an IPFS, and then you take the hash, so the code of that image, and you place that into a block. Now that hash is basically associated with a token at that point. So you get like your unique token, the 1155, or whatever other your ERC you're using for that. The two things are associated. So in reality, what you're doing is that you're transferring the token as the hash, and that's the smart contract. That's what the smart contracts does. And then you have solutions like OpenSea, for example, that allows you to, like in a wallet, to view that thing, regain the hash. The hash is calling back the IPFS, and is allowing you to see the picture or the animation or the thing that basically is associated to that token. So that's how it works, basically.
Very good. Okay, let's do this Axie team, guys?
So here's the thing. I know it's a little bit of a cheating thing, but because Noriel has mentioned the question of like how to go out from the red trap,
yep.
And he's a driver for Grab, and I have a solid hate for Grab. I would actually like to give him, if he's still around, a team so that at least we can try to bring him out from having to work with bad entities and bad companies.
I think you should probably give it to him even if he's not still here. If that's
well,
the
but
case.
the thing is that if he's not here, I don't know how to get in contact with him.
Oh, right.
That's the rules.
Well,
we
I
always
don't think he
say
is.
that.
Are you still here, Noriel?
The timeline goes like this. You get a scholarship. You spend a month grinding away with a decent team that will give you, and you'll earn about 1,000 SLP a week if you're, it's not crazy, but it's achievable. So that gives you 4,000 SLP in the first month after 4 weeks. And then with that, you'll have enough SLP to breed. So you can breed your own Axie, and then you get one Axie. And then sooner you'll be able to breed another Axie when you build up enough, depending on the breeds. You have two. So within 2 or 3 months, you should have your own team. And with your own team, you can start breeding more Axies to sell or get a scholarship, right? So the timeline is very defined if you want to go from nothing to being a crypto overlord. It grows exponentially because of the fact that you can breed. So just need your foot in the door.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. I hope you're still here. We want to give you a team.
So King is saying that like he knows him, but we know the rules. We have done this all the time. I was the first one being a dick on this. Like we really wanted people in the chat.
Fair enough.
So
Fair
there
enough.
it is.
Hey.
He's back.
Nice. Good job, bro.
There you go.
Noriel, good job. Send me a DM on Discord, and I'm giving you the team. So hopefully
we from Noriel, Angelo.
We take you on the train, and hopefully like you can escape that rat trap.
Indeed. Okay, fantastic, everybody. Now next Friday, make sure you're all back here. We'll have more Axie scholarships. We were going to do it today. Couple of reasons sidetracked us there, but we will be giving away some project tokens next week as well. So we're going to wrap that back up. So make sure you're all here next Friday, and obviously jump into the Discord. Any other questions? If you want to apply for those jobs, get in there as well. Thank you, Stefano and Mr. Gonzo. We'll let you get back to the kids. And what are you doing tonight, Stefano? Streaming?
Yeah, I'm on Twitch tonight as per usual, and so tonight might be the day actually, because average could be that tonight we achieve the final step. So
everybody's got to join in and watch. Everybody, we're shilling Stefano's Twitch. Everybody go to Stefano's Twitch. Watch his Twitch tonight. Sean, Stefano, I'll watch.
Sean has never been on my Twitch.
I
Think
know.
about that.
Let's
huh?
go, bro. Let's
Such
go.
a bad friend, huh?
Well, it's like because it's like 4 o'clock in the freaking morning for me. But
Well, so what?
You're a night guy.
to watch
Yeah.
to watch you play games at 4 o'clock in the morning, yes, maybe I will.
You
but
are
it's not.
awake watching TA and chart either way. So,
Yeah,
like, what do you
this is
want?
true.
Exactly.
This is true, Stefano. Send me
long. Oh
send me a link. I might come and say hello tonight.
on
I was like, guys, how do I liquidate this position? But Sean, it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Go on.
No, we need to sell. We need to sell.
Oh no, that's a big
I'm actually
candle.
I'm getting hammered on an Ethereum long at the moment, so I do need to go and check it. Good God.
Don't worry. Call Vitalik. Vitalik pumping. It's
No,
time.
call Lisa.
Okay, thank you, everybody. We'll see you back here next week.
Noriel,
Love
make sure to
you all.
send me a DM on Discord. So I'm gonna give you the link for the scholarship. Really, really do that, please. But yeah.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week. Can I just grab you two boys for 5 minutes afterwards? I need a bit of help with Uniswap
Wanna
Fusion
grab
3.
With stuff for once again.
God damn.
The tech.
Turn the camera
the
off if
tech.
you're gonna say stuff like that. I don't want it. Anything to do with that.
Catch you later, everyone. We'll see you.
Nice ending.
See you next week.
See you.
Have a